Number next, I'm Matt.
I'm Amy.
Welcome to the show. I just got smacked in the arm.
He's lying.
Oh, you see that red mark? You saying you didn't smack me in the arm? You smacked me in the arm. Guilty face all over you. Look at you.
Oh my god.
Welcome to the show. Tonight we're going to talk about it's never too old or no.
See,
it's never too late to start.
No idea what
I thought she was fixing to hit me again, having fumbled and bumbled. It's never too late to start chasing your dream, whether that be woodworking or whatever it is. We'll get into that in just a minute. Tonight, Sawdust Spotlight goes out. If you don't know, we have a Facebook community, facebook.com/groups/731woodworks. Right there. Go to that webpage, sign up, join the growing community of 26.8 thousand people at this point. So tonight, we pick one Sawdust Spotlight a week from the community, and tonight's Sawdust Spotlight goes out to this amazing project, Mr. Christopher Weikert. I don't know how to say your last name. I apologize. Weikert. 8 foot by 6 foot counter height, chunky turned leg with 10 matching counter height chairs. Check that out.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely amazing work.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Was that you?
Yeah, I got a text. Check all that out. That is really cool. Awesome work. Hey, the buzzing went away.
It did.
Told you it wasn't doing it a while ago. You didn't believe me. So it's never too late to start, right? And so the reason I wanted to bring that up this week, I come across one of my older videos, an actual video talking about it's never too late to start. I actually linked that in the description below. So after the stream, you want to go back, go to the channel page and look under past live streams. This video will be listed there, and just watch that other video, or just search 731 Too Old to Woodwork or something like that. Should find it. Anyway, I saw that video and I watched a little bit of it, and I was like, we need to talk about it again, because I get so many emails, several a week. Somebody will email me and say, I'm 60 and I started woodworking, or I'm 80. One a couple of weeks ago was 84, if I'm not mistaken, and had just started woodworking. And it just awesome. So you never know when you may pick this up. And so it's never too late to chase a dream. So I wanted to touch on that a little bit, because I want to show you that it's really not that expensive to actually get started woodworking. Okay. And the reason I say
if it
that
was, you would have never been able to do it.
Yeah, dang right. I had to borrow tools to get started. That's kind of an old story I tell all the time. But if you have $200, now I know $200 could be a lot of money.
It was to us.
It was a ton of money to us.
Still a ton of money.
But for $200 right now on Home Depot, there's no link to this. You have to search it out. I'm not trying to make any money on this. I just want to show you. A drill and a driver and a circular saw. That's all I had starting out. That's it. That's only 3 tools I had other than a square and a tape measure. $188. That's for cordless tools. You could absolutely get this cheaper buying corded tools, because corded tools are much cheaper, especially if you're getting like Craftsman brand, stuff like that. Amazon, you can get much cheaper than cordless. But if you want a cordless set to get you started, drill, driver, circular saw, that's all you need, a square and a tape measure. That's it. You can build a lot of stuff with that. That's what I built the first J. Bates chairs with. Several benches. Remember those?
And you had used stuff too.
One bench right there, sitting right over there, was made with that used tools. Just those tools. That's it. And so, I got it right then. I got the pocket hole jig before that one. So another $20-$30 for one of those smaller pocket hole jigs. And that's all you need. It's just super simple to get started. The price of wood's up a little. We all know that. In my opinion, probably going to go up a little more, but that's neither here nor there. But you pick the right projects that are selling in your area, or just to make family and friends things, and you can get started. Most people get started woodworking one of 2 ways. They want to make extra money, or they go to the furniture store and say, I'm not paying that for that. And they go home and build it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what gets most of us into woodworking. Mine was money driven because we were broke and I wanted to make some extra money. But we also wanted furniture for the house.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I started, I was 40 years old. I've only been doing this about 5.5 years now. I was 40 years old when I started. And I had a little construction background. I kind of have a general idea of how things should work and fit together, but I had no woodworking experience at all. I had worked in the past. I was a roofer, putting metal roofs on a trailer. In construction, I was just a hand. I just, hey, go get that. And that's what I went and got. They tell me to go get a sky hook, and I go look for that.
This works for any profession, really, because so Stephen Copehead said he started at 64 years old.
That's awesome, man.
Heriberto Flores said about to turn 57, retired December 31st of 21, and he's woodworking his little heart out. I love that.
I love it.
Some people, they really do have a fear of starting something because they're too old for it. I wanted to be a school teacher my whole life, and life happened. Life happens to a lot of us, and I thought that dream was gone because I got married too young. Then I had babies. Then I got a divorce. Then
I swooped in.
And then he swooped in. And then, married again. Another baby. And life. And a whole lot of life, and things happen. I was 36 when I finally became a school teacher.
I was so proud of her.
But,
that still makes me proud of
I
this
was
day.
standing at graduation with 22-year-olds. And, you do feel completely different out there. There's something a little bit magical sometimes when you're older and you catch a dream sometimes. But you guys can do this. And I know a lot of you are already doing it. But even if you're a little bit nervous, Paul Chandler says 71 and still learning. Absolutely.
Yes, always learning.
It's so cool when you're older and you catch that dream, because sometimes when life does happen and we catch that dream and we've experienced some of that life, catching it can sometimes feel so much sweeter. We hold on to it a little bit tighter. And so it's super cool, it's never too late.
That's right.
And that's what I tell my students all the time. Some of my students don't believe that dreams are even worth chasing sometimes. And that's so sad. It's so sad that they're growing up already thinking that at 12 and 13 years old, they already think that a dream is not worth chasing. How sad is that? It's so sad. 12 and 13 years old, and they already think that dreams are not worth chasing.
Yeah, that's sad. It's really sad.
It's awful. 58 and just started learning. What a learning curve, Steve Miller says.
It's
what
fun,
a learning curve.
It's fun.
But that's awesome,
Yeah.
Steve. I love that. And Steve Miller on here. He has been an intricate part of our community
for a
since
long
the
time.
beginning.
Yeah.
He's been part of this, and he's been an amazing part of the 731 family for as long as I can remember, actually. And so it's been, it's so cool. We've met so many of you, and all of you have such amazing stories. And so it's not too late.
Nope.
And that's what I love about it.
Aaron Douglas says, any suggestion on trying to start building with absolutely no workspace but the open yard and a driveway? You have the absolute biggest workspace of all. You have the open yard and a driveway, so you're not hindered. Now, what I would look for is tools that you can take in and out easily. So in other words, collapsible style workbenches. I actually put some tool deals up on the channel today. This morning, I posted like 3 or 4 new tool deals. I post tool deals on my website almost every day, but 2 of those were collapsible workbenches, and one of them was like discounted like a couple $300 off. It was down to about $100. Something like that would be absolutely perfect because you could take that in and out as you needed, and then you store your tools away as well. Keep those on mobile bases and things like that, or keep them mobile. But that's something that I would look at, is getting mobile workbenches.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. You didn't have to do that. Says chasing the dream also requires us to also be sure God is going to bless your work.
Yep.
I started this as I turned 58, and now God has given me blessings and continued challenges.
That's right.
You guys pray for Mr. Clark. He's going through some stuff. Mr. Clark used to be a chef, if y'all didn't know that, which is super cool. And now he's doing this.
Yeah.
So that's really neat. And a huge difference. He gives me some advice sometimes on ways that I can try to still enjoy sweets, even though I can't have sugar and stuff. So he tries to take care of me there. Donovan Waldrop 1 says, I'm 44 and I'm trying just making smaller things with the help of my 14-year-old daughter to start her a little business.
That's awesome.
So that's
We have
super
a friend
cool.
of ours that does that here. His son does all the woodworking, and he's helping him.
Yeah.
Damon says, "How do you tell what is selling from what is just up for sale?" You just keep an eye. Like, so what I would do on like Facebook Marketplace, for instance, if I see the same person posting the same picture of the same stuff, probably not selling. Especially if they start reducing those prices, things like that. When you start seeing the prices reduced fairly frequently, that stuff ain't moving. But you just try to meet or socialize with your local woodworkers, and y'all work together and decide what's working, what's not, if the area is big enough. And then you're not an enemy. You're not enemies.
I read something. Life is a journey, not a competition. Let's all try to support each other and not compete.
Yeah. Some people aren't going to be as receptive to that. They're just, they think you're competing with them. You're going to get in their market or whatever. So they're just not. But some people, most woodworkers are more than willing to share what's working for them.
Yeah.
We've been very open about what's worked for us on our channel and, what sold, what didn't. That kind of thing. So we, I've always kind of been in that mindset that we just, the more info we can give out, the better. And it's not always going to work. I still believe stove covers are good because
I do too.
People just keep buying those things. The plans sell very well for us, and the people that make them reach back out to me and like, man, I'm selling these things. So stove covers, I'm telling you, that design's a unique design. It just looks good. So,
and I could actually tell you so many things you can use them with.
Crow says, super chat. Thank you. Just going off the topic as I just got on here, I don't do what y'all do. I do hand carving, which is awesome. Like old Dave.
That's so cool.
But your community is just as amazing and helped me from giving up. That's awesome. Now, Mr. Dave was actually Dave and Eric. Eric and Ryan Roten were in the shop. Dave was his dad. They were in the shop and we're working on a project together that'll be coming out in a couple weeks. Super cool. They were hand carving.
Such nice
just
people.
Absolutely super talented people. And that's another thing he taught me. So like customizing, you don't have a CNC. You can hand carve it. Like the work he did, it almost looks like a CNC. And I told him that as a compliment. It's like, it almost looks like a CNC, but you can tell it has a human touch to it. It's really cool. Wait till you see it.
Oh, so cool. Becca Mayberry says, haven't picked up my saw in over a year. Life, COVID, work, etc. But I love this community and find comfort here, even if I haven't actively made sawdust in a while.
Yep. Gotta make some.
Yep.
Gotta make some.
Heriberto Flores has been our Wamba 6 supporter for 2 months. And 4321 has been a Wamba 6 supporter for 20 months.
Thank you, brother. Almost 2 years.
Oh, my goodness.
Bill Lloyd says, are most stove covers the same size? Kinda. So most of them are about... all of them that I made were about 19 to 22 inches deep for the most part. So about a 21-inch deep will fit most stoves. And then from 30 to 34 inches wide, most are 32. But I was doing custom orders, so they just measured their stove and tell me what it was. And most of those were within that range. The majority of them that I sold were 20 inches by 30 inches. I made tons and tons and tons of those. So it's kind of a rough draft.
And let me make a suggestion. If you do the stove covers, when you get ready to take your pictures, do a picture of the stove cover standing upright with the back of it. Like turn the stove cover up to where it's standing, where the front of the stove cover is on the front, on the top. I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying about it. And put decorative pieces in front of it, like on where it's... So like if it's on a coffee bar or something, it's kind of like it would be a picture.
Like a display or something.
Like a display where it's a picture on the back of a piece of furniture, and put decorative pieces in front of it so that it can be shown that if you're not wanting to use it, like if it's, if you're having Thanksgiving dinner and you're cooking a big meal and it's going to be in the way for a few days, they can actually move it to the side and just stand it upright behind decorative vases or pottery or plants or something like that, and it can be easily stood up and placed behind stuff, and it's still decorative, so that because a stove cover is something that's really heavy and it's bulky and it's big, and if they feel like it's something that's going to be in the way, because that was my problem with it. I'm an OCD person, and it's big and it takes up a lot of space. So if you can show that it's very decorative even when it's not being used, it makes it much more appealing to women like me who are like that. So it shows that it can be easily put out of the way. So take pictures of it like that. It just, trust me, it helps women like me who are looking at that kind of
The
stuff.
women's your buyer.
Women are your buyers on that kind of stuff. Okay, so just trust me when I say take pictures like that.
Gene Blackwell says, where do we find your plans? If you go to the website, 731woodworks.com/store, you'll see all of our plans listed there. We have several to choose from. There's some free ones, and just check them out if you want to check out the free ones just to kind of see the format and how they're laid out and things like that. And there's also paid ones. That's a great way to directly support us. Crow says, I'd love to make you a sign. Man, we'd love that. 731woodworks@gmail.com. Just shoot me an email. We'll talk about it.
And if anybody wants a picture of a stove cover like I'm talking about, let me know, because I keep one actually staged that way in our house, and I can send that to you.
Yeah, I've seen somebody said they should be prepping for the hurricane, but they're busy watching us.
Oh my goodness.
We're praying for y'all, especially H2's down that way.
Oh, repurposed pianos.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I love those. Somebody's asking about that. Delcelia. I don't know if I'm saying that name right. Repurposed pianos are beautiful.
What are
I
you doing?
love those. What?
What are you doing?
You just use them.
Like ding-a-ling-ling?
No, decoration.
Oh.
They said, what do you think of repurposing pianos?
Never seen those.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people do those. They use them. I've seen them be turned into coffee bars and all kinds of stuff.
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
H2 said he did his hurricane prep today. Lloyd wants a pic. Send him a pic.
Oh, of the... Do you want me to go take one and you put it... Can you put one on the screen?
Probably.
All right, I'll
we
go
probably
take
figure it out.
I'll go take it real quick. And then you can put it on there. I'll run and take one. I'll be right back.
All right, Tim.
Don't go mute on.
She'll be right back.
Don't go mute.
I'm trying to pop that up. It won't pop up. It's a little off topic, but what do you guys use to get sap off your planer rollers? Thanks for the help. Sap off the planer rollers. I would think like paint thinner would work. I don't guess any's ever caked up on mine. Nevo says, there are many people that don't use their stoves. I use mine every day, so I would think stove cover would be a bit of a hassle. So yeah, a bunch of people don't cook. They don't never mess with it. And so they just don't. But a lot of people do. And when we did have ours for a long time, we would just set it on the counter beside the stove. Uh-oh. Did I send that to you or me?
I don't know. You want me to do it? You sent it to me.
Oh. Well, send it to me.
There you go.
Trying to share a picture. Don't push that. Okay.
You got it.
Save it down.
It's kind of a hard picture to see because that room's kind of dark. Yeah. Well, it's nighttime, so but you can see it.
You got no light in there?
That's the only light that's in that room.
That's what she's talking about. She's got it stood up behind.
It's kind of a dark picture because it's nighttime, but you can see it. Kind of. It's in the it's not
That's
staged. It's not staged very well because it's just stuck up in the top for now. But you see what I'm talking about.
Rhonda, status on Nashville. So we're looking at probably going to thank you to our Georgia Peach, Michelle Cochelle. She's been orchestrating this.
Yep,
with Woodcraft
Oregon.
of Nashville. We're probably going to meet there on a Friday. I haven't talked to Michelle about this yet. She sent me an email earlier. Saturday, they can't let us in until after 6 because of classes. We have plans after that time. So probably Friday afternoon at Woodcraft Nashville. I will have a hard date by next week, and we'll have a sign-up list because they can't allow more than 30-ish people. So we'll put that out for you next week and have a way for you to sign up if you're interested in just coming and saying hello and hanging out for an hour or so. Turpentine cleans the sap right off the blaze, says Mr. Mike. The blaze and tools. Acetone works also to get it off the rollers. That's what I meant. Acetone instead of paint thinner. Acetone, paint thinner, mineral spirits. It all should. Any of that stuff should work just fine. compared tongue oil to board butter as a finish. Mr. Clark asked. So recently, Wood Whisperer put out a video on making a tongue oil orange oil mix finish. He's got a really good video on that. If you want to go check that out, I went and made that finish. It's just a 1-to-1 mix of tongue oil, 100% pure tongue oil. It has to be tongue oil pure, and 100% pure citrus oil. And I think I said orange oil. Yeah, orange oil. And you mix the two up. Smells amazing, and it's a really good finish. Now it takes a couple 3 coats of that versus one dunking of the mineral oil, but his testing that he did showed that the tongue oil mixture lasted much longer. Even in boiling water, it didn't come out of the wood, so it's pretty impressive.
Did you see that Mark Puente was on here?
I didn't. Hey, Mark.
Yeah, he said, hey, Matt and Amy, can you give an update on how many followers 731 has now? Blessings to you.
Thank you.
Hey, Mark.
We're at 300. We're just shy of 336,000 here on YouTube, and so it's been fantastic. The little Instagram's growing too. We're at 40-something thousand there on Instagram. Facebook, it's kind of I don't know. I can't even find anymore how many people follow me on Facebook. But yeah, we've been very, very blessed.
And H2 is saying, are we still doing the Christmas ornaments as a community? Yes.
That would be awesome.
We need those to go ahead and come in. We need to get the tree. Hey, you know what? The tree would look really good right there.
Yeah, we could probably do that.
It would fit.
If it's a tiny tree, like this tall, this big around. Can it be one of those skinny trees?
Mm-hmm. I have a really skinny one. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll post something in the community to send. All right, if you have an ornament that you want to go on the tree, that it can be one you make. It can be one of your stickers.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to put a sticker on a piece of wood and put a hook on it to go on the tree, the 731 family tree, and send it to us. Send it to our P.O. Box.
Yep.
Okay?
P.O. Box 731.
I'll put it in the chat,
Monticello,
and he can
Arkansas,
tell it to you.
71657. What we'll do is if we get an ornament, we'll show it on camera, and then it'll go on the tree.
That's and then it'll go on the tree. Did you tell it to him?
Yep, I sure did. Woodcraft 74321 says I should teach a class while at Woodcraft, maybe build a chair. That's something the Texas Woodcraft offered me to come back and teach a class. I'll probably take them up on that. If you remember, I went
Damon's
to the
making
first
a
visit.
monkey ornament.
If you went to the first visit of YouTube video or first visit of Woodcraft video, they offered after that for me to come back and either teach a class or just have a meet and greet there. I'm probably going to take them up on that.
Okay, so anyone who sends an ornament will show it. Why is it Mark and Michelle Cochel's? Michelle, it changed Arkansas. It's P.O. Box 731 Monticello, Arkansas. It's AR instead of AK.
Yeah, AR. AK is Alaska.
Yeah.
Sometimes it autocorrects for some reason.
No, P.O. Box, 731 Monticello, Arkansas, and it's 71657 is the zip.
We'd love to have one, Michael.
What?
A 10 ornament.
Yeah, any ornament, and then I will put the tree right behind. It's okay, Michelle. It's okay. Send them to, it's AR, and then 71657. We'll put them on the tree. We'll put it right back there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll show them on the show, and then we'll put it out there. Hayden78. Give me a shout out.
Yeah. Do you know him?
Hayden.
I didn't know if he's one of your students or not.
Oh, I bet. Wait.
Rick.
I have a student with the
Texas
last name
store
Hayden.
Was whichever one I went to. It's the one in like Fort Worth area.
Hayden78. Tell me who you are.
I don't know the town name. Hurst, Texas, maybe.
Hayden78, gotta tell me who you are if you want to shout out.
Craigular Joe Woodworking. Craigular Joe instead of regular. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's an awesome name.
Why is it?
Hey guys, what are your the projects that seem to sell in 2022? Thanks so much for your time. What I would think, or what I've seen, especially in the fall of 2022, planters were going crazy. A lot of people were getting to make 4321 was making a bunch of them. Yeah. Was making planters, those lanterns, those pumpkin lanterns right now. People are making those like crazy. Outdoor furniture always does
the
well.
Letter
if
wall.
it looks
I'm
good.
telling you, the
letter wall. She was talking about on the live or the members only live stream earlier. I'm fixing to build one for the church. It's so simple. I'm hesitant to do a video, but it may be worth doing like a 2 or 3 minute video and just
We're
releasing it
buffering too.
off of what you call it. Is anybody else on the internet? You may need to shut down these streams down.
Okay.
Like close it out. That's buffering for everybody. Bummer.
Yep.
Is it still buffering over there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's our, wonderful internet.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, Mr. Clark is needing the details about meeting in Tennessee.
We don't have the full details yet.
We don't have all of them yet, Mr. Clark, but once we get everything, it's going to be...
It's likely going to be October 27th in the afternoon. That's a Friday, October 27th.
I thought it was the 28th. The 27th is a
28th.
Thursday.
I'm sorry, 28th. Yep.
It's probably going to be that Friday in Nashville. But once we get all the details, we'll post them. We'll let everybody know. Once we get everything worked out, we'll let everybody know in time. A letter wall is just a thin piece of wood that's got a groove cut into it that you can put these little plastic letters in that they can switch all the letters out on. The return on those, they're really simple. They sell for quite a bit, and the profit margin on those, it's usually quite a lot. They sell for a ridiculous amount of money. Yep. It's insane.
This is what they look like. That's all they are. It's just a piece of wood. It's got about an 1/8 inch notch cut in it, as you can see, and then people just stick.
I'm telling you,
it's the craziest thing. But look, these people are selling for $140 at this Etsy store.
Yeah.
And if you look around the internet, all of them are about this price, and it's silly. It's silly that these things. But what costs are those letters? Because if you buy those letters, you would think that's just a plastic letter is cheap. Those letters are actually quite expensive.
You can buy the letters in bulk on Amazon, and the wood strips they don't cost a whole lot.
Thank you, Lincoln.
But once you buy the letters in bulk on Amazon and sell them with the wood strips, you can actually get a pretty good return on all of it.
Stacy House, there's no cost. We're just wanting to meet some people.
Yeah, there's not a cost.
Yeah, we wouldn't charge something like that.
No.
Hey, McMath.
Hey, McMath. It's good to see you on here. What's been your favorite product to reproduce?
Reproduce?
Mm-hmm.
Reproduce. Like batch out or just to make?
To batch out.
For whatever reason, I've always liked making mallets. I find joy in those, and I've always...
Thank you, Tim Burns Jr.
Thank you.
Single car garage shop. Advice for organization.
Always, yeah. So I always like mallets. Just I don't know why. I never liked the batching out process, but for some reason I just enjoy mallets. I guess because I can hit stuff with them. I don't know.
If your stream is blurry now, go in and change your
your settings.
Your settings and put it back. Your quality back on 720, and it'll clear it back up. Single
car garage advice for organization. So. I would look at building, if you search a collapsible workbench on YouTube, some guy's got a really good video. I can't tell you his name because I don't know right now. But his whole workbench folds up against the wall and takes up like this much space. When you fold that down, you've got a nice area to work, and then also everything needs to be on mobile. It has to roll. So if you like a planer, if you wind up with a miter station and all that, Fix This Build That has a really good mobile miter station build. It's got little wings that come out. All that stuff will help you keep everything compact so that you can either continue to use the garage, or because you're in a small space, you want to maximize everything, go vertical. Make sure you use your wall space appropriately. I was reluctant to use my wall space for anything for a long time. And since I have started using it and going vertical with stuff, man, it's just so much easier to get everything up and out of the way. Super chat. Thank you. Heavy deuce. 2 years sober. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Oh my goodness.
What's the matter?
Oh, I was just reading some of this stuff about the hurricane in Florida.
Yeah, it's gonna get rough down there for a lot of y'all. Yeah, you can cut those letters on CNC. I think so.
That's awesome.
If you can get them thin enough.
Heavy deuce. Proud of you for that. 2 years is a long time.
Kevin, I would love to come to Maine. He says when we're going to bundle up and come to Maine.
Oof.
I would
We want
love to come to Maine.
We do want to. That's on our bucket list.
The colonel of the Maine State Police, he and I talk, not all the time, but we're friendly enough that he sent me some stuff from the Maine State Police, and we've conversed back and forth, and I've sent him some stuff, and we talk from time to time. But I would love to go meet him and meet some of you guys up there as well.
Boydston Grove, the only problem with cutting those letters and not getting the plastic ones is the appeal of them is those darn plastic letters.
Yeah,
that's
people like
the appeal.
Cheap plastic looking letters.
It's the plastic letters. That's half of the appeal. I want them, and I won't buy them because they're expensive.
Yeah.
But I want them real bad.
What are you going to do? Build a clubhouse?
I don't even know, but I want them. They're really expensive, though. Hey.
What's up?
You know what time it is?
Power tip time.
Power tip time.
Did you look that up? Because I didn't.
I told you to, though.
I know, but I forgot. But I have the same generic.
Stacy House has a question for you. While you answer it, I'll look it up. Would you be willing to share your testimony one day?
Yeah, of course. If you search Mountain and Valley Podcast, Matt Outlaw, you'll find it. And also on my personal channel, I share a little bit of it, youtube.com/Matt Outlaw. But yeah, it was. I spell everything out in the Mountain and Valley podcast. Isn't it Mountain Valley? I was on their podcast a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Hurry, you're going to miss the power tip.
Oh, goodness.
That's what I was going to say.
You were supposed to.
That's what I was going to say, though, that one. That quote.
I know. You told me to look it up.
Oh, the power tip is...
No, but you got to have the other part of it, too.
That is it. That's the whole thing.
No, it's not.
Well, you do your part, I'll do my part.
That's not the whole thing, though.
Can I say that one?
No.
We're past the power tip time.
I know. Well,
you messed that up.
You got it all missed.
Well, you fumbled that one.
You're fumbling here.
Playing like the Razorback.
I told you to look it up. I do not like the Razorback.
All right, so here's the power tip. She looks up hers.
You just go ahead then.
So we're talking about it's never too late to start, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Wayne Gretzky has a very famous quote that says, "You miss 100 of what does it say?
100%.
Yeah, 100% of the shots you don't take. If you don't take the shot, you're not going to make it. If you don't try, it's never going to happen. So if you've been kind of on the fence of whether you should or shouldn't, or maybe you should start selling, maybe you shouldn't start, just try. Just try it. The worst thing that can happen is it's not going to sell, or you're not going to be good at it, which most of us aren't when we start out anyway, but you're going to get better with practice. Just try. Just try. It's like putting out videos. I put out 2 a week. That's a lot of video to put out, and some do well, some don't. It's like you just try. You're just trying to see what works. And what works, we try to double up on. If it don't work, then we don't do those no more.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
Oh my goodness. Never
Power
mind.
tip time is over.
Power tip time's over. I told him to look it up.
Power hour.
Power hour. Oh my goodness. It's true though. You will absolutely miss 100% of every opportunity that you don't try at.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them.
I'll tell you a real quick story before we jump off here. So she was really nervous about going back to college. And when she decided to go back to college, she had to quit her full-time job, which at the time was a big deal because that was a lot of that was half of our income, right? But we both made the decision that it was worth it for her to chase her dream, that we would make some sacrifices for her to chase her dream. And so she did that. And she caught it. Now she's a school teacher. She had always wanted to be a school teacher, and she's been doing it for 8 years now and been doing an amazing job at it. And it makes me so proud to see her go to work, or when she comes home and tells me about her kids that she's in class with, come home crying because she's heartbroken over something that happened at school because of a situation a kid's in. Her passion for what she's chasing is absolutely amazing, and that inspires me. That's where I get my inspiration from. And then a year and a half ago, I quit a 15-year career, 13 on the highway, 15 with the agency, full benefits, full retirement, to do this full time, to chase it. And I thought I would miss that. I did. I thought I would miss the job, but I don't. I've not missed it a day. I have loved every day of this. Is it always gravy and perfect? No. There's struggles that go with everything. Doesn't matter what your dream is. You're going to run into struggles. You're going to run into obstacles. But if you don't try, you're never going to win. You just can't if you're not trying. So,
Yep.
My final words of encouragement for you tonight is just try. Whatever you're wanting to do, whatever you're thinking about doing, start making the steps to do that. It doesn't mean you quit your job today and start tomorrow. It means you start preparing for what you're wanting to do. And sometimes that takes weeks, sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes years. But the only way to get there is to start trying now. Yep.
I promise you that if it's a dream worth chasing, it's going to be a dream worth catching.
That's right. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. All right.
We will see you guys next week.
Y'all have a good evening.
Good night.
Night.